Welcome to the channel. My name is LoveArc. So I was messing around with ChatGPT the other day, and I decided to ask it a question about Armor Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. So I asked, so what are some ways it can suggest that could improve the game overall? And it gave me several areas that it researched and agreed upon that needs attention to make this list. For this discussion, I'm going to read off to you and give you my opinion on if I agree with the suggestion. And you too, you out there watching, let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with AI. With that being said, let's commence the mention. So the first area that has suggested that it needs improvement is the accessibility and difficulty options. Specifically, it wants to introduce multiple difficulty settings, like casual, normal, hard, so a broader range of players can enjoy the game. Also, it wants to expand the accessibility options, better camera controls, more robust field of view sliders, colorblind support, HUD scaling. Lastly, in this category, it wants to provide more generous ease in for newcomers, basically optional tutorials or scalable early encounters, so the steep mecha combat learning curve is less forbidding. So my opinion on this is I can see us introducing multiple difficulty settings, casual, normal, and hard for the broader range. The one that I agree on the most was the expanded accessibility options with better camera controls or more robust field of view slider and colorblind support and the HUD scaling. I definitely agree upon that, but I don't know about the provided more generous ease in for newcomers. We don't want to make the game too easy now. It does have some legacy that, it has to uphold. So I got to think on that. But that's the one area. So accessibility and difficulty option. The next area that it's suggested is balance and mission boss design. The areas that it's specifically talking about is better balance for boss encounters versus regular missions, avoid huge spikes of difficulty that feel unfair, adjust boss arena, few invisible walls or movement restrictions, especially when using agile builds, improve weapon mech parts balance, reduce the number of must-use meta builds so players can freely express their own styles without being forced into one optimal choice, and more variety mission objectives and avoid excessive backtracking between hubs and mission or long walkthrough segments. Now, there are some areas that, I can agree upon, which is the adjusted boss arena, which, few invisible walls and movement restrictions. I can see that a little bit, not too much, but I can see that, hey, you want the player to use the environment to their advantage. Okay. And we can all agree upon the improvement weapon mech part balance. I can understand some of the encounters really tailored towards one type of build, because I remember seeing others online complaining about that in terms of how do I beat this boss. I'm using this build and everybody just wants to these weapons or this scheme in order to beat the boss or beat the challenge. So but the better balance boss encounter versus regular mission, I don't really see that being a problem, so I can disagree with that one. The more variety mission objectives, now I can see that one. That's kind of fun. Right? I can see just having more objectives for the same mission to complete. I can see that. So balance and mission boss design was the second one of areas to improve. The third one that it suggested was the UI, HUD, and feedback improvements. Specifically, it wants to make the HUD more readable, larger weapons status indicators, clearer targeting and lock-on indicators, allow toggling of the HUD or parts of it for improved immersion, especially given the game's strong visuals. Enhanced lock-on / targeting for airborne or agile enemies so the camera targeting system does not become a frustrating point. I can agree upon all of these areas of improvement. I've been screaming since the inception of this channel somewhat about Armored Core 6. About we need some, at least the HUD customization. Now, all these years we had some level of customization in Armored Core games in general, and it just seems like this generation they completely forgot about it. Like, hey, this is it. Either you have it or you have it. You have no option of removing it. Now, for you guys out in the PC world, you have that option with the mods and everything, but us Xbox and PlayStation fans or players, we don't have those options. So definitely the UI, HUD, and feedback improvement area definitely needs to be addressed. An interesting segment for it to suggest is the story, world building, and presentation. Strengthening the customization and the story arcs. Players felt that the narrative and characters were underdeveloped. Improved environmental variety. Basically, players cited that the worlds feel industrial and perhaps lacking in diversity, organic life. More polished in visual textures, lightings in some areas to match mecha design quality. Now, I do see the first 2 points being valid. Now, yes, do felt like the character development wasn't very strong. The story arc could be more in depth and sort of straightforward, but it did take us for a little bit of a loop when you've played it a little bit for the third time. Improve the environment variety. Well, Rubicon was supposed to be a dead planet. It's supposed to look like we are on the moon. It did that, but I can see that it wants to further that idea that some life was on this planet, maybe going to an abandoned city that wasn't, war-stricken, or a town, or they did not expand on the planet's bioorganism life. So that's why we were left with this cold, desolate planet. Besides it being very cold and Antarctic-like. So, but for the more polished and visual textures, lighting in some areas to match mecha design qualities, I never really had an issue with it came to visual textures and lighting in some areas. If you guys seen some areas of improvement in that one, let me know down in the comments. I'm curious what you guys think or have seen based on your playthrough. The fifth area that it saw to improve this game is the multiplayer, post-campaign, and replayability. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. The area specific is expanded the multiplayer co-op option. Players wanted more than just PvP deathmatches, and a basic example being mission co-op. Add more post-campaign content, mission challenges, build sharing, custom lobbies to extend the life beyond the main story. Enhance progression system for allowing parts of the mech to evolve over time beyond just buying a new one to award longer play. Now, for this category, the fifth one, I 100% agree. 110% agree. 120% agree that we should have all these areas addressed. Co-op, yes. Post-campaign content, yes. Enhanced progression system. I didn't even think about that one, but yes, I would like to see that. That's a new one in terms of like you got a part and it evolves, it gets stronger or it alters, whatever the case may be. Yes, I would love to see all these improvements, these areas addressed. You guys let me know how you feel about this fifth category of areas to improve. And now for the last section here was the customization and build freedom. Specifically, it was referring to while customizing is already a strong point, ensure that all builds remain viable throughout, so players feel rewarded for experimentation. Some feedback suggests certain weapons or builds become suboptimal later on. Provide clearer in-game information about how parts, weapons, archetypes interact, so players can make an informed build choice rather than trial and error. And add more fun, non-meta parts or cosmetic rewards for alternative playstyle to encourage creativity. This is another area that I 100% agree. You have 100% support from LoveArc when it comes to customization and build freedom. We've been screaming, yelling. Our voices have been, we have basically blown our vocal cords for more customization and build freedom. It seems like they got started and halfway through the development process, somebody pulled the plug and just told everybody just to finish up. You got until 2 days to finish up this part of the game. And there's a lot of areas that are in the game that shows these signs of life that, hey, this was going to be a really in-depth process, but somehow or another it just got pulled. So in summary, HC6 gets a lot right, but there's room to polish the experience by making it more accessible, refining mission, boss designs, UI, deepening story arcs, and world presentation, increasing multiplayer replays capability, and preserving build freedom. By doing so, it could broaden its appeal and deepen its long-term engagement. So that is ChatGPT on the whole idea of what are some ways of improving the game. Let me know what you guys feel or think about this list. Did ChatGPT get it right? Did the AI get it in the same ballpark? Is it voicing our opinions, or was it completely off kilter, off base, and it needs to reconsider its research? I'm curious on some areas that resonated with you and some areas that basically distanced you. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Let's get the discussion started. I can't wait to hear from you all. Be sure to hit the like button if you made it to this point of the video so far, and consider subscribing to the channel if you are new here, where we talk about basically Armored Core and other mecha genres here on the channel. I want to thank you guys for your time, because I know how precious it is, and hopefully I made the best of it while I had it. Other than that, I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you guys to take care, stay safe, and stay fly, Ravens. I'll see you in the next one.